All right. Thank you guys for joining.
Oh, you bet. Should we just hold this up kind of like when we're talking?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you. So what time? I'm starting off right quick with showcases and stuff. Do you guys have a showcase coming up to this evening?
Yeah, we're playing at Daniel's Ale House and Eatery.
Awesome.
And that's going to be at 10:15 tonight.
I think the guys that were just here are like 10:45. No, there might be a little later. So they could see you guys, then go see Dally Van Gogh, and then come back for Vormir. So that's everyone's schedule for the night. Everyone that's burnt out from doing this all weekend, your plan for tonight is to go see the Brood, then Dally Van Gogh, and then come back to the hotel to see Vormir. And they're the last people of the weekend. So that's... Except for Rankin's, if anybody's staying for Rankin's Winter Warmers. But
actually, Seamus is playing in that.
In the
Rankin.
There you go.
In the Rankin. Yeah. With many guests. Many rehearsals, many guests.
So tell me a little bit about the Brood. And when we get to the end, I want you to just talk a little bit more about that too. Because I meant to stop Rankin earlier, but everybody's so busy. I didn't get a chance, so I'd like to hear a little plug for that too. So if there's anyone sticking around,
sure thing, yeah.
So start with the Brood first, since you guys are all here. How long have you guys been a band?
Well, I think we started kind of playing in some form 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe 9 years ago we came up with the name The Brood.
Okay.
And we started working on songs that became our first EP, which is called All Debit, No Credit, and that came out in 2014.
Okay.
So that was our first record.
And when would you have worked with Gavin McLean? He did some video footage for you guys.
Oh, yeah. So you'd want to comment on that maybe, Billy, because I think you had some... insight into
Gavin's a friend of mine and my brothers that do the podcast. So I knew who you guys were. I met Siobhan last year at Music Week, and I was already aware of the band because of Gavin, really. But there's also the Glasgow tie that your brother is on the music scene in Glasgow, so that's how I know who you guys are. So I was just trying to figure out how long ago, if you were in 2014, you said, that you came up with the name?
Yeah, so when we worked with Gavin, I know we did some stuff in 2018.
Yep.
We were at the old Confidence Lodge, which is a studio in the South Shore of Nova Scotia. And the engineer at the time who was operating that place, Diego Medina, we got to work with him, and we did some videos that Gavin was shooting. So I remember we did that with him, some sort of like cool, like kind of live recordings at the old Confidence Lodge.
That's absolutely the ones I was watching.
Yeah.
While I was researching bands for the podcast, I was also researching people that I knew to figure out what maybe I missed in their own stuff, and it was a nice discovery because I found a cool band out of it, and then I ended up interacting with you guys. So.
Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is 2018, you said? What happened after that?
So after 2018, like we've been playing pretty steady since 2014. But and then in 2019 we ended up playing in the States. We did Pop Montreal.
Okay.
We did a bunch of great festivals. With Summer's End in Grand Manan. We did some... It was. Now, like, can...
Just pass the mic around. Okay. I can turn this... Try talking and see it. Move the condenser mic into the middle, see if I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. And I'll shut this other one off just to see what it sounds like.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much background I get. But I can hear you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I can speak a little louder, too.
There you go.
So this one's off, but we got the condenser?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Excellent.
Like I just have to not talk as much. I'm echoing. I'm reverbing off the wall or something. All right, yeah, go ahead. We're good.
So yeah, 2019 was busy, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. It felt like it was like an up and up trajectory, and actually when we played Music Week in 2019, we got booked to play Focus Wales, and what was the one in London?
It sounded like a mushroom. It was a Enoki or something.
Enki. No, that we were originally supposed to play. So it was like we were going to go over and play Focus Wales and like...
The Great Escape?
Yeah, but that sounds like an escape room. So like I can't... I think that's what it's called though. Anyway, so what happened is we were like a month out from going. Like just finished all our funding reports. We were also going to be Jenna Barry's backup band. And it was really exciting. And then we played a show at the Carlton on March 13th, 2020. And then the world shut down. Yeah. So we kind of took a bit of a breather because it was like busy, but like also like in that it's hard to like kind of enjoy it when you're really busy. So
I thought you were going to say responsible. You're taking personal accountability for the pandemic.
Well, I mean that too, but
the Brood like, as a group.
Well, it kind of was our fault.
It was kind of like at that time, you know, really you couldn't play live, and that's kind of the main thing that we like to do. Yeah. And so we kind of just thought like, let's just take a breather now because we can't really do what we want to do. And things were so uncertain, obviously. But then a year later, we were able to go to the UK and do Focus Wales. And that's when we started playing with Jordan Murphy.
Okay.
Who's a very talented drummer.
Yeah.
Yes. And so since October of 2021, we've been playing a fair amount, you know.
Yep. Yeah. Back on it.
And as far as albums, do you have a new one in the works? Like you had something out, was it last year or was it?
No, so we were supposed to release it in 2020, but we didn't because we're like, it just felt like a really weird time to put it in the world, and it felt like everyone was putting stuff out and no one was really paying attention, so it just didn't feel like the right time, so we waited. And
we wouldn't be able to like do a show for it,
exactly.
Have an event. Like we really wanted to. We put a lot of work and time and effort into this, so like we didn't want to just like, all right, here you go, whatever.
Yeah.
We figured let's wait.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people did that, but I know a few people that, especially through the interviews, but a few people held off releasing stuff because they're like, well, I really, really want to. It's not just that you're supposed to. It's I really want to get out and play this in front of somebody. Like, I do understand that. Yeah. So you must be pumped with 2022 then.
We've got our first video release in years coming out on November 18th, so that's like pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we have a label over in Europe, and they're releasing it worldwide, which is great for us.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, and then the EP will be out December 2nd. So.
Oh yeah, so like you have a good strategy planned out for, like, you guys are, this is the beginning of your fall plan. This is
It was kind of, we did I'm pretty excited for our video. It's, we did it with Jeff Miller and Charlie Benoit. I don't know if you've met them. They're usually around.
I may have met a couple of them just earlier.
But, like, Seamus, do you want to talk about it? Because it was kind of like your brainchild and...
Yeah, so we had this song called Putting on a Show, and that's the name of the EP as well. And it's probably our most epic song, And it's all about kind of just watching Netflix and being a bit, kind of apathetic about just, I'm just putting on it. It's kind of like humorous, And then we had an idea for an elaborate music video that we were able to shoot with Jeff and Charlie. And they did our last video, Munchies, which was a really cool parody of sort of this, Munchies, that, Vice channel, that journalistic, they have these sort of reality TV sort of, these some content on YouTube that we parodied. And Jeff and Charlie did a great job on that. So this time we kind of upped the ante and we designed a whole set and we got a bunch of people to do it. We got some really talented actors to... And I don't want to give it away. Yeah. But when's it coming out? It's
Friday, November 18th.
Oh, so it's really soon. People will find out. So
it'll be It's going to be really exciting.
I'll take you off the hook for trying to explain the new one, since I know you're not ready to talk about too much. Yeah. The Munchies video. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something really bad. I ripped the audio off the video so I could have the song in my car.
So that's hilarious.
So
we're going to tell Lars Ulrich.
Yes, he's going to come after me personally.
You'll be hearing from our
So because I did that,
You have
I have the intro. So when I'm driving, I like the song. So every time I'm driving, I have to listen to the full intro to it.
Like the Marky Lake, like
The whole spiel's in there. So
That's so funny.
so who is that? Because it's not you guys.
No.
So Marky Lake is played by an actor, Paul Barbecue Doucette. And he did a fantastic job. He sort of did all the research. We were kind of basing him off of like an Action Bronson, Matty Matheson kind of celebrity chef kind of character.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty good. Actually, it came on in the car on the drive up, and my traveling companion, like, we just met. So like they were like, what? But they knew you guys. They know you guys. So he might be floating around out there later. Yeah, I thought it was funny, and he talked a little bit about it there too, because he was a little taken back. He's like, oh, this is, but why is that playing through your car stereo? Why is there a music video in your car stereo? So there you go. So I'm definitely going to have to, you guys can use the guilt factor to make sure that I pay for your album.
Make sure we're very vigilant.
Yes.
In making sure people are paying us.
So have you guys been to Glasgow to perform?
We did. We ended up doing it with, it was like July 2nd.
Yes.
With Shaolin. But I feel like it was a weekend. It was like a hard one to decide. I remember Anna wrote me and she was like, hey, just so you know, there's like a festival going on.
Yes.
And then we wrote the Shaolin guys and they were like, let's just do it. There'll still be a crowd. And there was. So
yeah, I knew that you were supposed to play and I didn't go, so I wasn't sure you were there because I would have been at the festival.
And you also came last time. When we had to get some, Voodoo sometimes in for us. Yeah.
Yes, and you guys were, so I was talking to you and you weren't even there. Yeah. So I do try.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear that you have new stuff coming out and there will be some performances in the future.
Yeah.
But now I do have one curiosity question. I'm curious about how long before we actually do cut off because I do in bands back to back. So I'm curious before I lose you. I know you have already said that you're playing Rankin's Winter Warmers, and I see Siobhan all the time playing with other people. So I don't know about you, though. Like, is there other side projects? Are you fully dedicated to keeping the brood going?
Yeah, I just don't... I guess I'm just not in the public eye very much. I hermit away.
You are now. You're center screen right now on a world-famous interview.
There's a poster right behind
Oh, yes, I'm playing with this band as well. That is me, actually. Right
there we go.
Yeah.
You would not believe how well having those up there today has done. I didn't have anything as a backdrop the last few days. I did that early this morning, and people have been using it for reference all day.
Oh, there you go.
So
perfect.
The next time you run into me in a festival or something and you're going around and putting posters up on the wall, come by and drop a couple off to me, and I'll put them behind my camera setup.
God,
so
totally.
I feel like you guys can see it, nobody else can, but off to my right, that would have been a perfect billboard all weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely hit me up in the future. I may forget, but if you guys remember, then it will only be Brood posters behind me.
That's right.
We'll have a monopoly on that.
Yeah.
So you're playing with Sunday Girl normally?
Well. Yeah. I've been playing with them for a few years.
I said earlier that Sunday Girl's the only band that I've been talking about the last few of these interviews that I don't have any contacts for, so you're going to be my new friend.
That's not a good idea. I will put you in contact with Laura.
Okay, there you go.
That's more reliable.
Perfect. Actually, her name came up a couple times too, so I should probably meet her at some point.
Well, they're playing right before the Brood.
Oh, okay.
So
perfect.
Same venue, so it's
awesome.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, so as soon as I wrap up these, I really have to get out there and figure out who I'm actually going to see. But
star them in the app.
You're one of the few bands that I admitted to today that I was going to. Everyone else, I said I wasn't sure, so I think I have to commit. There's one Matt that I was talking to last night. I only caught half the performances I committed to him for, but then he didn't show up for an interview today. Oh, no. I think he might be listening. That's the only reason I'm getting that. So Siobhan, what other are you a hired gun for everyone now? Because I see every time there's something live streaming or ECMA performances, I always see you when the camera pans. I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, I feel like probably since the pandemic, I think coming back, I wanted to, it's like I really like playing live, and so I've had a few more opportunities, and I think it's just kind of the thing when, if you put the work in and like people see you, they think of you too. So it's like, I feel like once you start playing in things, people see you and then they're like, oh, like who can we get? Like I felt very honored to be Leith's sub in Maximum Overdrive. That was like a really fun and like challenging gig.
I somehow saw that somewhere too, and I've never been. I know exactly the band you're talking about because they're like I've described them as a super group of musicians that are just doing covers because it's fun, like doing big parties. So
and that was really fun because it's a very different thing. And then like we both play in the Grateful Dead tribute band, so that kind of just started as like a fun project during the pandemic, and then we've had some really fun shows. So it's been. I just think when people see you out playing, they think of you, and so which is great because like I love playing music, and to be able to like, I of course still have like other jobs so then I can pay bills, but when it can be like music can help with that, that feels great.
Sure.
Yeah. And I can't imagine not doing that. Like my dad, I feel like it's just like in my blood, and I don't think I could ever have a 9 to 5. I just don't think I can do it.
I think down the road a good episode would be sitting with you and your brother and diving into how you're both like heavily involved in music.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'd like to find out if it really is in your blood.
Yeah.
And that's the connection then for the Winter Warmers. And actually, why don't you give a little blurb on what that is? Because there's a lot of people at the conference that think there's nothing going on tomorrow. But there's the awards, and then in the evening, there's a big event.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's like after the awards, there's this concert with lots of musical guests. And Rankin, he's got this band that they put on this series called the Winter Warmers. They've been doing that for a long time now, and that used to be at the like the local and the Marquee in Halifax. And it's kind of it's kind of like a kitchen party, kind of loose and like sort of spontaneous and fun. And so tomorrow we're gonna have lots of guests. I don't know, maybe I should mention the guests. Like
do it. Our good friend Jamila is performing.
Yeah,
Willie Stratton.
Yeah.
Morgan Tony, which will be...
That would be cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think like Shay Pitts.
Shay Pitts is playing. Yeah, it's very eclectic and lots of very talented people who are going to join us. So we're going to be playing for like a few hours.
I feel like that list, it's funny, as you were naming them, I was mentally in my head going like, am I going to know all these people? I know every one of them.
Yeah.
But none of them have been on the podcast. I've in playlists and maybe a featured single or something over the last year, but those are all people I've not yet had as guests on the...
Okay.
So that's actually pretty exciting.
That'll be a really fun show. It'll be a mix of originals and sort of songs in the Rankin repertoire.
Yeah.
Which run the gamut from like Glenn Campbell to Missy Elliott. It's quite eclectic, yeah. And then, we're gonna have guests coming in playing their songs, and so it'll be really cool. It's kind of like, when you watch The Last Waltz, like it's kind of sort of like that, but maybe less cocaine.
There you go. Well, I'm going to do the same thing that I just jumped on the last band with. I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds here with the microphone and not monitor what you're doing, so you can plug whatever you want, or you could shoot off of it. I wouldn't even know. You could see the camera there. I'm just going to open the door for a second, see if I get someone else to transition in before I lose my full hour.
Seamless set.
And actually, if you have nothing to say, I'm looking for your signatures on the poster too, so you can people can watch you sign your name.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Well, I think we should reiterate the release dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the single video release for Putting on a Show is
November 18th.
And EP release is
December 2nd. So new music and a new music video from The Brood.
Exactly. Released worldwide.
Yeah.
What? Is that you there? Anyone want to write the Brood and then we'll...
Oh, yeah.
put our names.
Now I'm going to have to go back because I really couldn't hear most of it. So I'm going to have to go back and find out what you guys revealed.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
So we're going to be releasing our brand new music video. That's going to be November 18th.
Perfect.
The song is called Putting on a Show. It was directed by Jeff Miller and the director of photography, Charlie Benoit. And then,
if you guys remember, send me a link when it's out and I'll reshare it.
Yeah, you bet.
Or if you're doing your own social post, just remind me and I'll reshare it through our group and our Instagram.
totally. So that's coming out November 18th. And then the EP release, December 2nd. Available on CU Records.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Matt that just stepped in the room here as well?
No, nice to see you.
Come on down, Matt. We'll get you in a chair and we'll transition between everyone.
The Price is Right.
So,
What band are you guys?
Do you want your own chair? You just want to sit? No, okay.
Oh, what, you offer? What
I mean,
am I getting for Christmas? Let's go.
it's music week.
Hey, that's
Came
right.
early. Yeah.
So sorry to catch up. What were you guys again? You're
The Brood.
The Brood. Okay, amazing. Yeah, June Body and Avery Dakin.
Nice.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
it. I like that you put the posters above the urinal. Because it's sort of like, yeah, you're right there.
I got a picture on my phone that shows all four of them above all four urinals, and I want to make it our Facebook cover photo.
Yes! All of you would be in front of it peeing or something.
Yeah. It's like, God, this band sure is shitty, huh? So you guys are playing when?
So we're going to be playing tonight at 10:15, Daniel's Ale House and Eatery.
And then you got an album coming. Okay, cool. I'll definitely have to check that out.
And if you come early, you can catch Sunday Girl at 9:30 at Daniel's Ale House and Eatery.
Yeah, there you go.
Eatery Emporium.
An Emporium.
And Food Emporium.
I used to be called Moe's Family Feedbag. But now it's Daniel's
Uncle Mo, here I
Ale House and Eatery.
awesome.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And hopefully you guys, now that you have a contact with June Body and Avery Dakin, you have some other people to perform with in the future.
Oh, thank you. No, it was a ton of fun. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming. We'll get a little word in with Matt. And Matt, as you're getting set up, I'm just going to let Lisa Richard's coming in the room as well. So we got a full stacked hour here for anyone that's staying tuned.
Thanks, Darcy.
Yeah, thanks.
There it is.
Yeah, you can see the feed. It's live.
Yeah, awesome.
Set up.
Yeah, definitely. Here, I'm just gonna.
I don't know what